Questions for Brendan Scott?
Where does that rate in glorious red and Sorsby last second?
I think it might be the only one, so probably number one, I would assume. It was an awesome game. Really proud of our guys. You love to win those. You love to come out with those wins. So really proud of our group for battling and looking forward to next week.
How's it feel to go 10 plays, 75 yards, backs against the wall? You're on the road. I mean, this is what you dream up in the backyard.
Yeah, 100%. Like I said, really proud of our guys. You know, we work that drill all the time. We call it finish drill. We're always trying to, prepare for like situations like that. And like you said, that's what you dream of. So really proud of our guys for, finishing it and punching it in the end zone.
What's your mindset? Minute 45 to go, you've just fallen behind. What was your mindset going into that final drive?
Got to score. No other way around it. Either you score or, die trying basically. So that was the mindset going into it. We had to do it and we all believed and, we did it.
You were confident going in and you could score?
100%. It seems like every time we have a 2-minute drive, we at least drive. Nebraska, I made a stupid decision, threw a pick, but we were still driving. So, we love those situations. We love, when our back's against the wall, it's what we prepare for. And obviously, you would rather not do that, but given the circumstances, I'm proud of our guys for being able to step up and rise to the occasion and go punch it in.
And I know you and Jalen Daniels aren't on the field at the same time, so it's not you, just talk about the competition back and forth. We both had phenomenal games.
Yeah, 100%. We keep talking about it, about the Big 12 being, top to bottom. I think one of the best QB conferences. And he played very, very well today. We were going back and forth and, we talked after the game. We've talked at media days and stuff, just building that relationship. So, really hat off to him and, he played a great game. So did their team. And, I'm glad we came out with the win.
Hear anything from Cyrus Allen?
No, actually, he didn't have too much to say. 11 receptions for 128. Usually you don't have too much complaining to do. So, he's sitting over there in the corner right now on his phone. He's probably not paying attention, quote unquote. But no, he's usually pretty quiet whenever he's getting, some chunk plays and receptions. So no, I'm really proud of him too.
Questions for Brendan from the Zoom?
Brendan, I was talking to Cyrus earlier this week about this matchup heading into Kansas, and he told me he felt like he was going to feel like a villain in Lawrence this weekend. That connection, 11 catches, 128 yards. Just talk about that performance a little bit more from Cyrus and that connection you guys are building.
Yeah, some big plays as well. And then obviously, our routiners that are just the little out routes, check downs, whatever it may be. And, him being able to stretch the field that way. And, pretty much anytime I go to him, he makes a play for me. So really proud of him and his performance and excited to see what he can do the rest of the way.
What was that completion to Noah Jennings on that fourth down like? When the ball was in the air, did you think it was going to be incomplete? Were you surprised he caught it?
To be honest, I was getting hit like kind of as I was throwing it, so I didn't even see it, but I knew coming out of my hand, I'm like, please tell me that doesn't go over his head. Please tell me. And then as I'm kind of going down, I kind of peeked up and I saw him one-handed and I'm like, oh my gosh, thank you, Noah. So I'll be sure to take care of him sometime this week, maybe a little gift or something. Cyrus, I'm not getting him any gifts because he has too much stuff, but make sure that Noah gets one regardless.
Brendan, you stood in the pocket, 8, maybe 4 or 5 hits for completions today. Is that something where the accuracy on those throws just comes with repetition? What is it about that? Is it that you're able to kind of even more consistently hit those passes where you're getting knocked like literally within split seconds after they come out of your hand?
No, obviously there's not really much time on task with that in practice because our defense isn't hitting us obviously, but just game reps and just realizing, hey, it's football. You're gonna get hit, so just standing there and try to deliver the most accurate pass that you can, and let your guy have a chance on the ball, and you're gonna get hit eventually throwing the ball, so you might as well just take it and try to deliver a pass. It's like the quote of like, if you're gonna let the ball hit your hands, you might as well catch it anyways because you're gonna get hit. Vice versa for throwing the ball, you're gonna get hit regardless, so you might as well try to deliver an accurate ball.
Scott
What happened?
Yeah, I don't know. That's what I want. I want our running backs to outgain us. I give them a hard time all the time. Too many, runs down the goal line though for my liking. So I'm gonna have to talk to Sad about that. We'll figure that out for sure. But proud of Tawi for finishing the runs. I'm sure I'll hear sometime about it this week about him scoring more rushing touchdowns than me.
Keegan.
Kind of speaking on that, was there any part of you that was questioning the play call when he wanted to hand it off to Tyree at like the 15?
No, I'd already taken my fair share of hits, so I was all good. I knew he would punch it in, honestly. We had one called back. We had multiple touchdowns called back today, which you can't have against a good offense like that. We got to be able to put the ball in the end zone versus just settling for three sometimes. So we got to clean up some mistakes, but whatever Sack calls, I trust him, and you just got to go out there and execute it.
We got
Speaking
time
of
for
those calls in the red zone, you guys are one of the best red zone teams in the country this year, scoring touchdowns. I think 6 for 6 scoring points today, 4 of 6 scoring touchdowns. Has it been the sequencing of plays this year? Has it been the execution this year that's completely flipped those numbers from what we saw you guys in 2024?
Honestly, I think it's a little bit of both, but obviously it comes down to execution. Our players and especially our big boys up front are taking care of business. And then, if we ever have any Q run game or whatever, our running backs are doing a great job of protecting. And that's really what it comes down to. You got to be able to put a hat on a hat and just say, hey, listen, we're going to punch this thing in regardless. So, hats off to our guys for doing that. And, we've been good so far, but we got to keep it up, especially going into next week with Iowa State.
Cool. Thanks,
Brendan, Scott mentioned your poise there, your composure down the line. Obviously, 4 touchdowns get called back because of penalties, then you lead this team down on a game-winning drive. How does that kind of feel knowing that circumstance that those did get called back and then continue to stay calm and poised to go lead your team on a game-winning drive?
Really have no other option, obviously, but to just say, hey, we got to go punch this thing in. Obviously, we've had touchdowns called back, but that has nothing to do with what we got to do right now. That's not going to change. The past is the past, so we got to go find a way to punch it in.
All right, thanks, Brendan.
Thank y'all. Appreciate it.
All right, we got Cyrus. We got time for a couple for Cyrus real quick. Watch out there on the court, Cyrus. Watch the court. Scott, question for Cyrus.
Crazy was that you've had some good days before, but 11 catches, that's a full day's work.
Yeah, I was kind of banking on it this week. Like Sorsby said, I was a little quiet this week. So I try to just be a little more calmer this week and just let it come to me for real.
You got 2 in the end zone. You've scored touchdowns before, but when you can do it on the road, is that more fun?
Yeah, I like being a villain. I like to come take over people's trap.
David.
You guys seem to be wide open a lot in their secondary. How much of that was scheme and how much of it was you guys just finding the seams and getting there?
Yeah, we went over. It was like great. Scout team looks over the weekend, so we was kind of prepared for it, and we knew we was gonna hit them. We just take advantage of it for real.
On the Zoom.
Cyrus, what was really working for you this afternoon? Obviously, we spoke earlier in the week about what this matchup would lead to. Did you see something with this defense that kind of allowed you to have this career day?
Nah, nothing for real. We just playmakers. We here to make plays, and that's what we come here to do.
What allowed you to get separation so easily today, Cyrus?
I'm always getting separation to correct you right there, but just the feel of the game. I've been playing the game for a long time now, so it's just the feel of the game and just knowing my coverages for real.
How about the other receivers? So you're seeing more of Noah and Isaiah getting it now. So in addition to you 3, they're got 5 or more that can, and that opens things for you, right? Because you're always open.
Yeah, definitely. There's no egos in that room. I love that group. Like I said today, when we was talking, I'm like, we don't have no starters on the team. We got playmakers. So it's the next man up like mentality every week.
All right, thanks, Cyrus.
Appreciate y'all.
Thanks, Cyrus.